All right, we're going to work on this sketch here of Paul the Apostle praying, and today I want to show you how to refine your tracing. Now, I did a tracing using an overhead projector, and I'm going to refine it because when you use a projector and you trace, it just leaves all kinds of artifacts, and it's not going to give you a really good sketch to base your painting upon. Let me ask a blessing on this before I begin. Father, I ask a blessing on this session here. I pray you'd help me to be able to refine this sketch and bless the students watching. I pray that this image here, Paul the Apostle praying, would encourage me to pray more and others to pray more. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so what we're doing is basically going over some of the details and just adjusting it and giving this more realism. So I'm going to start with the face because that's what's most important. And we have just a vague outline, and you can see kind of some of the artifacts we have here. I mean, we know this is a hand, but it's hard to really see what's going on, and that's what happens when you even do a good job tracing. When you're tracing in the major value structures, it still leaves everything wanting. So we have to go back in and really add a lot more to it. So I've got my Kindle side by side here. I don't know, you might be able to see it. Probably not. But this is what we have. I'll just show it to you momentarily. So I'm trying to base it off of this here and get a little bit more realism. So we're going to work on that. So I'm going to try to get his eyes in there and just show that proper form of the eyes. Now, this is a worm's eye perspective, looking up from the ground up, seeing the bottom portion of his face. We want to make sure we don't make those eyes too large and that they have the right shape. As they're looking upward, shape will be a little bit different, and you're going to see more of the eyelid area. I like to use, by the way, this nice eraser here. That's a battery operated eraser, and it works really nice for getting those precise marks. You just want to erase a little bit and not half of your drawing. By the way, if you were liking this video, give it a thumbs up, and also I would encourage you to check out the downloadable guide I have here in the description of the video and in the comment, and that will show you how you can get more accurate skin tones and also better values in your portrait. Accurate values, accurate skin tones really makes a big difference in your portrait, and I'll show you how to do that in this free guide that I have here in the description of the video. Okay, so I'm shading in a little bit of this shadow for the nose, getting in some of the wrinkles underneath the eye, and we'll just zoom in a little bit more since we're really zeroing in on the face. And then we have this shadow that goes down below, and we have part of the mustache here. See the nostril, part of the lip area. And then we have the teeth and the open mouth. We want to make sure we have that being portrayed accurately as best we can. We don't really see the eye on the right, we just see the eye on the left and part of that mustache area. I have to get just a quick sip of water here. So really the tracing just gets you the quick proportions. It saves you a lot of that initial proportion work, but it's not going to do all the work for you. As you can see, we still have a lot of work here to do in the sketch. So we've got some of the wrinkles below in the neck. We have the jugal fold. We want to make sure we portray that accurately. A little bit of a cast shadow here from the jawline. I'm just going to shade it in like this just to let myself know that this is all going to be a very dark value when I begin to paint that in. And now we look at some of the wrinkles here in the clothing. Begin to sketch that in. move our way down. We want to accurately portray the wrinkles in the clothing and the hand. That's important. Okay, so this is a very dominant area here, these particular wrinkles, and so I want to really emphasize them. Now you notice in the tracing process, well maybe you don't notice this because you're not looking at the reference image, but if we look at the reference image, there's actually more detail here in this whole shape that was missed. And that's what happens a lot of time in the tracing process. It'll simplify things. You can end up adding too much detail, but your forms will actually get kind of simplified, or the shapes just won't come out the same way that they look in actuality. So you'll have to make some adjustments. We're not getting all the nice little wrinkles here in that tracing, but I'm adding it in here in the sketch. So you have a nice crease in the middle, and we want to make sure we get that. And you can see some of the architecture of these wrinkles right inside here, and we want to make sure we get those folds in there to really show that beautiful crinkling of the fabric as this arm is, bent. So that's important. That's really gonna show what's going on here in this image, portray the realism, and again, that's important. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what's going on in context. All right. And we just shade this in a little bit here. Add a little bit more wrinkles on the top and really show those folds in there nicely. Get a nice wrinkle going up here. Yeah, because we do need to extend this wrinkle a little bit. Oh, okay, I misinterpreted that. I misinterpreted this form. Let's just erase this here. And see, that's easy enough to do because the sketch didn't give me all the information I needed. This wrinkle actually, I think, comes up to here. And then we have this secondary wrinkle that only goes about that far. I see how it goes. And then we have another wrinkle, and then this dominant wrinkle right there. So it's really easy to misinterpret what's going on from a tracing. And that's why, again, I like to do this work here during the sketch stage, because it's just easier to do that here rather than waiting till I'm actually doing the painting process. I want to get the forms of these wrinkles correct. Okay, so got a little bit of the wrinkles going on here. Now we've got some shading right here that we need to capture just to let us know that this is a darker value, although it's not as dark as some of the other areas because it has some reflected light. We are trying to capture what we see right here by that armpit area, and that's important. We'll add a little bit of shading going up. And yeah, now let's make our way over to the hand. So we're not completely done with the clothing, but I just want to show you the hand area next because that's important. We'll begin by shading in the wrist and getting the difference in the tonal value between the illuminated side and the side in shadow. And so again, this is what we have in the reference photo, and we're just trying to portray these fingers clasped together and the way that that really shows that he's praying. So that's important. So we have the thumb here. I couldn't even discern the highlighted area on the thumb where it began or end from the tracing. But now here I'm supplying that information just by doing some freehand sketching on top. We've got some of the fingers projecting out. So really it's so much of the work has to be done in this stage. But again, tracing does help you. It does save you some time on that initial structure, initial proportion work. And that's why I still like to do some freehand sketches and painting, like my 30-minute acrylic portraits, which I need to get back into, by the way. But those are fun to do because they're all freehand, and then they really develop your freehand skills. Freehand sketching as well is also really good for that. But we have some of these forms of the fingers and the knuckles, and I'm just trying to portray them here. They're almost like these weird abstract shapes right now. But we want to make sure we just have the main forms. So we have an extra, we have a knuckle up here that I couldn't really discern from the tracing. So hopefully this is enough information here, and it's accurate enough to depict what's going on with the hand. We have kind of a shadow right here going on, and we'll just fill that in, and then this is all kind of in shadow, part of the sleeve area below. This is in shadow here, so we'll just kind of sketch that in. This is in shadow. Again, hopefully this is accurate enough. If not, I'll have to refine it a little bit more. You don't have to get the sketch perfect. It just needs to be, overall as accurate as you can. I'll try to add a little tension to that and show also some of the tendons on the top by his neck, and those jugal folds and veins will just give him a little more attenuation, give it a little more drama by just showing some of the wrinkles there, and hopefully that'll portray the intensity a little more. Like I would like to move up to this forehead area and really portray the wrinkles on the forehead. I want to make sure we have the correct angles on them. Again, some of the want to really get that expression in there. Okay, so this is what we have right now. I'm going to be doing some more work on this, but I'm going to stop the video off here just so it doesn't get too long. And you can see how in the sketching process how we've added some more shading, we've added some more depth to it, or at least we've prepared it for the painting process. And so with the additional information, the tonal value structure, some clarification on the details of the clothing, some additional detail on the facial structure, the features, the wrinkles, I feel a lot better about this sketch. I'm going to do some more work on it, but now that it's more accurate, I'll be able to then begin the painting process after a little more work with confidence, knowing that the painting should look very much like my reference photo when it's finished. Lord willing, of course, because I do need his help. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more videos, of course, like this. And then check out my website, realisticacrylic.com, where I have several articles, tips, tutorials, and videos to help you get better at portrait painting. Check out the free guide, the free downloadable guide to help you with values or skin tones in the description of the video and in the top comment. And I'll be looking forward to helping you more. All right, thank you so much for watching. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.